everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the Dreametech R20 cordless stick vacuum. Dreametech did send me this product, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Take a look at the retail box and packaging. We can learn so much about this vacuum from the front side right here, breaking out the different menu settings and controls, some of its key features and highlights. Same can be said when we look at the back side here. They go over some of the key tech specs for you on the product packaging. They even have additional information on the side up at the top with our carrying case handle. Now let's go ahead, let's open this up and see what's inside. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our product literature consisting of a full user guide and manual in multiple languages, walking you through everything you need to know about your new vacuum. We also have a quick start guide right here with some tips and tricks and precautions to follow. Installation, product overview, charging, how to operate and use the vacuum with your maintenance tips and tricks on the back. Next, we have a lot of accessories. Crevice and brush tool right here. We got another crevice and brush tool right here as well. You'll see we have a mini powered brush. Look at that. Pretty neat. You'll see how that adjusts too on the side. Then we have our two brush rollers. We have our soft brush right here. So it's got that soft roller on it. See it from all sides and angles, how we can adjust it up and down, left and right pivoting. And then you'll see we have our multi-surface brush roller right here. Got our built-in lights. Here's a look at it from the back side. Up and down, left and right, you'll see the two main wheels on it. Next, you'll see we have our wall mount with templating sticker. Here's a look at the mount. To charge the vacuum, store it, we can add our accessories to it. And they give us the kit right here too. Screws and wall anchors. Our power supply and charger. You'll see the main body of the vacuum. Pretty sure it's just plastic, but it has that cool carbon fiber look and finish to it. Powered by DreamyX Innovation Lab. And then lastly, we have the vacuum head. Let's look at that in more detail. Looking at the unit from the top, you'll see the Dreamy logo and branding in a gold accent here. Everything looks nice. You'll see it front on to get a feel for the dustbin release. Very forceful. I like that. You'll see it from the side. We got the max fill line for our dustbin, trigger, Dreametech branding. We also have a removable battery that just slides right out. You'll see the battery right here. All different sides and angles. Removable, replaceable. It's nice. You can pick up a couple of those batteries if you want. Here's a look at the other side. Dreametech branding. Underside. And then the back side has our charging port, and we have our display with our trigger to activate. So there it is. You'll see that display right there. We can adjust our different suction settings. And then we have our lock. So we can lock the trigger, or we can go ahead and unlock it. And as soon as you let go, it's going to release and lose power. Now let's go ahead, let's get this set up. You just need to pick and choose what accessory attachment or brush roller you want to use and connect it to the vacuum and the main tube right here. So first things first, let's connect those two pieces together. They snap right in, and then we'll just pick and choose. Let's use the soft roller brush first if we wanted, and then that will just snap right in as well. And now we have the vacuum all set up and ready to go. Again, easily just mix and match the different accessories or attachments depending on what you're trying to clean. Now let's go ahead. We're going to turn off the studio lights and see how bright the built-in LED lights are on our vacuum. So here we go. Take a look at the built-in blue LED lights, allowing us to see and identify dirt and dust more easily with those lights installed. Pretty cool. Got that blue glow to it as you're vacuuming on the floor. to be able to see exactly where you need to clean. Now it's time for us to clean. Alright, so we just finished our first clean. Let's look at the results. So we have a very full dustbin right here, a lot of pet hair in there. See a lot of dirt and crumbs, some larger objects down here. So let's pop this open. It's going to empty everything out. So look at what we were able to pick up. Christmas tree clippings, right? We got, looks like a little bead from some kids' crafts. A lot of crumbs there, sticks, debris, and then all of this pet hair with more great contents inside of it. Look at that really fine dirt and dust captured in there as well too. It's not exhausting it back out, so we got really good filtration with this vacuum. Long human hair right there. Look at that though, disgusting. These are real world results. But if you get a feel for that really fine dirt and dust that's embedded in that hair, really impressive. The scope of what this is able to pick up and trap those really fine particles in its filter. I also wanted to show you both of the brush rollers here. So the multi-surface brush is the one we use to clean the whole house. Already got a bunch of really fine dust accumulating up in the side and top corners there. You'll kind of see it all around. But look at this, you saw all the hair that we were able to vacuum up. Not one tangle right here, whether it's dog hair or human hair. I have 3 long-haired individuals in my house, and I have a dog that's got your golden lab coat. So far, so good. And then here's our soft brush roller. Not seeing any tangles either, but just a couple of fibers on there. Not sure if they're even from the roller or not. but no issues at all with either roller after our first clean. So how does the R20 stack up against the competition? We'll be comparing it not only within Dreamy's own product lineup, but also compared to the overall average of all cordless vacuum cleaners that we've tested. We're getting close to that 20 unit mark, which is really exciting. So first up, let's look at cost. This will help us understand the value of everything else we're going to talk about, so you can filter it through that lens to see what you are or aren't paying for. So in this case, you'll see just a little bit above Dreamy's brand average. That makes sense because in their lineup, this is going to be closer to one of their top tier vacuums versus one of their entry level vacuums. And even at that, you'll see we're still close to their brand average. So that's good to see here for a higher end model, still coming in at their average price point, or I should say just a little bit above that. But you'll see we do have a jump up from the overall standard typical average vacuum cost. You will be paying more for this vacuum. Next, let's talk about battery life. This is measured in minutes. They claim a 90-minute runtime. From our own personal testing, you will deplete about 1 battery percentage per minute. So I see how they're getting this result. That's going to be on the auto settings. So if you have really dirty areas, you're going to increase the suction power, and that's going to burn more battery. So that's mostly theoretical. You will have plenty of juice to be able to do your whole house, but if you're like me and you like to clean your carpets with that super max strong suction mode, it will burn through that battery, but the performance really speaks for itself. So if you have select areas like carpets to do that, just know you're not going to see this runtime realistically, especially with that suction setting. But in a perfect world where your floors aren't dirty and you're just vacuuming for 90 minutes, sure, it'll run that long. So it is substantially above the brand average though, which is great. So they are making improvements here by about 20 minutes. And you'll see pretty substantial versus the overall average at just 52 minutes. We've nearly doubled that. But again, these are mostly what brands want to advertise to you what the results will be versus the actual real world. But with all things being equal there, again, that's what you're seeing with the numbers right here. We're almost double the average from what a brand wants to brag about. Next, let's talk about bin capacity. This is measured in liters. We have a fairly large dust bin, guys, 0.6. That's standard on Dreamy models, so it matches the average, and that's slightly above average compared to your typical cordless vacuum. Next, max suction power. This is measured in air watts. This unit has 190 air watts of max suction power compared to the brand average of 154. So pretty nice and hefty improvement here. And you'll see the overall average is only 138. So internally, we have all the specs there that should lead to a deeper and better clean, but it isn't always necessarily the case, but that is what you want to see, more air watts than less. Rated power is another one of those specs that typically the higher the better. You'll see deeper and more thorough cleans. This unit has a 570 watt rated power compared to Dreamy's average of 464. So these are those indicators that let us know too that we're dealing with a higher, more premium model, because again, internally, they're not skimping on those parts and components, well above the overall average of 351 watts. Next, max CFM, we measure the score ourselves. This unit got a 50 CFM score. That's one of the highest we've ever seen. The brand average is already up there at 43, so Dreamy does a great job with their CFM ratings. And again, this is one of those metrics too, the higher the better, the deeper clean you'll get. It's actually gonna be able to suck and lift things up and out of your carpets, especially. The overall average coming in at a respectable 33. Now for our deep clean score, this is measured out of 100 is the best possible score. This unit scored a 95. We're actually 1 point below the Dreamy average, but I'd say that's well within range. We did test this vacuum with its multi-surface brush roller. That got the better score here, and we tested it with the soft brush roller, but the soft brush roller is really only made for hard floors and surfaces. For this test, we embed coffee grounds into carpet and vacuum them out and measure the results. Overall average though, you see, is 94. So most cordless vacuum cleaners, regardless of price point or spec, still score really high in this test, which is great to see. But what's funny is what I've noticed with Dreamy vacuums, these few points do make a difference in regards to how your carpets actually look. So my wife and I talk about this all the time. We continue to swap out our vacuums, and the Dreamy vacuums just do the best on carpet, and they leave beautiful carpet lines letting you know that everything's been freshly vacuumed. Next, we'll talk about decibels. This is how loud the vacuum is. We measure this vacuuming carpets, and we get the max value here. So in this case, with max suction power vacuuming on carpets, we got a max readout of 91.2 decibels. Dreamy's average is 91.7, so actually slightly below, but well within any sort of margin of error. So you can just say it's the average loudness for Dreamy vacuums, not any louder or any quieter. And the overall average is 86. So thanks to those, beefed up internal components with stronger suction, wattage, all that power, you'll see a louder vacuum here. But when you're vacuuming side by side with another vacuum, will it be noticeably louder? I'd actually say jumping up from 86 to 91 with these vacuums, you will notice when you have it in that max suction mode. It just kind of has a little bit of a higher pitched whine to it as it's going about and doing the vacuuming. So yes, you will notice a difference with that max suction mode compared to your typical cordless vacuum cleaner in its max suction mode. Now we'll talk about weight. This is well within the average weight for Dreamy products. You'll see it's about 6 pounds. Overall, the average tested is 5.2. Again, that just varies depending on the quality and the parts and components used, right? So if you have a larger battery capacity, well, your vacuum is going to weigh more. So there's a lot of different variables there, but this is not a heavy vacuum by any means. Super standard. I would not say most of you out there would come away with any sort of arm fatigue or be too tired vacuuming around your house or having any issues moving it around and cleaning, especially with just one hand. So where's that leave us with the Dreamy R20? Well, let me share with you my final thoughts after using this vacuum cleaner. I have a lot of great things to say because I have been eagerly awaiting for basically their updated versions of their T-series vacuums. I've used the T10, the T20, and the T30, so I was really excited to get my hands on their R20 vacuum because the biggest thing missing on those vacuums was no built-in LED lights, and now we have built-in LED lights, and they give us 2 roller brushes to use, and I was blown away with that soft roller brush. It does a fantastic job on hard floors and surfaces. So if you have a house like mine where you have a lot of hard floors, you'll really appreciate having that extra roller brush. If you don't, well, you have it anyways, and you can maybe use it sparingly or set it in the closet and never see it again. But anyways, I've really enjoyed this vacuum. Super strong suction power, same great cleaning experience I've come to love on those T-series vacuums, with the added benefit of having those built-in LED lights. Now, they did make the lights blue. The verdict's still out for me. I mean, obviously I like the color blue, but for lights, I still like white. I guess I'm just really accustomed and used to that when I'm vacuuming, so nobody really likes change. But the blue supposedly, I believe, will help you see and identify dirt and dust even better. But for me, I'm just glad to have LED lights, whatever color they are. The display's great, super simple to use. Just set it in auto mode and forget about it. Or if you want to adjust the display and use the max suction mode, you can do that too. Highly recommend turning that on when you're vacuuming carpets. You'll be blown away by the dirt and dust that you'll be able to get out of your carpets with this vacuum. Now, David, you sang a lot of praises there. What would you want to see improved or changed in the future? I think the biggest thing is still better battery life so we can have that max suction power last even longer. But that usually progresses as technology becomes more affordable and there's breakthroughs in battery life, all that good stuff. So that's just your typical thing I'd want to see in the next version of this. They are making improvements there, which is awesome to see. They're just coming a little bit slower than us as the consumer would want. So no glaring issues or anything like that. Just your typical updates throughout the years of maybe the brush can tangle less, right? Maybe we can suck up even more. Maybe we can be more efficient, and then maybe we can get that stronger suction power and have even longer lasting battery life. But this does have a removable battery, which I love, love, love. So you can get multiple batteries. So if that is an issue for you, maybe you're just vacuuming carpets nonstop, you can quickly continue using your vacuum. I guess the downside is those batteries are expensive. So, there's a little bit of a give and take there. The majority of the cost of this vacuum after you buy it would be buying additional batteries.